Of this great convention here in Chicago and Mayfair, Bela.
How you doing?
So what got you started into this convention? It's wonderful to have these small cons. It's always great to bring the local community as we have here. What started it all for you?
I'm just a comic fan since I was a kid, and a lot of local shows are lacking, in my opinion, so I wanted to do something my way.
The right way. That's awesome. And it's just a lot of variety. Obviously, we could see all these great vendors here, and you really helped put it all together.
Yeah.
Great, great. Are these mostly from your personal collection that you have here?
These are a couple collections I bought, and yeah, just getting rid of some DC books, kind of slimming it down. It never ends, you know this.
Uh-huh. And the more important question, will there be another Bela Con? Bela Comics.
Bela Con still on dead in the ground.
All right. Hey, amen. Thank you.
All right.
right, here we are at the horror house, the Crypt Closet. Where could we find you online?
You can find us at the Horror House Shop, or if you're in the Chicago area, we have a brick and mortar at 2911 West Belmont.
Ah, very good, very nice. And he'll be here too.
Yep, here.
Oh, it's pretty gnarly. There it is. Look at that scar and blood.
Like this.
Back again at Bela Con. This is the second time around, and we have, looking at the name in the back, it's the very recognizable Tim Seeley, and just his great work with Local Man. About a year ago, it was only the first issue. Now we're already at 10 and 11, and also be sure to pick up the compilation. It has all the stories in one. And I just got this right here, Hack and Slash, one of the early Tim Seeley works before that one and Revival. It's interesting to note, is it true that Revival is going to be on TV?
Yes.
It's going to be on...
Yeah, they've already started doing the writing. It'll be on Sci-Fi Network in July 2025. So we, long time ago, we optioned it. It took a little while to get going, but yes, it's finally completely going.
All right.
Producer, director. It'll be on Sci-Fi Network in July 2025.
Okay. That was Tim Seeley at Bela Con. Just great book, everything right there. Stay tuned. Bela Con number 2, the best con in town, right here. Bela Tim Seeley.
Just hanging out with beard today.
I gotta get my beard on.
Yeah, I'll get you one.
That's okay. Welcome back, fellow time travelers and comic book aficionados. That was Bela Con number 2 at the Mayfair Presbyterian Church in Chicago. A nice community feel taking place in the church basement, and there were plenty of vendors to be seen. From Slabulous Comics featuring foil covers and slab book, Zombie Unicorn Comics, Maximum Distraction, as well as some new vendors such as Cheese and Keys offering a magnificent amount of Silver and Bronze Age books, some horror titles, some space titles, some UFO titles, which I will get into, and of course Batman and Superman, also Mind Out of the Gutter comics, and other comic dealers that were present. It was a small group, but really packed the wall up in terms of comic book. What was also fun about Bela Con, there was an artist alley featuring the artwork of Derick Maasen, who was there last year, and he presents these giant poster-like covers. Right over here we have Godzilla and Chicago. This I picked up last year, but he also had Nintendo's Punch-Out, Star Wars featuring Darth Vader, and a lot of pop culture references. So Derick Maasen, the name's right there, is one you should look up because he has a lot of great artwork that he does himself. And he was there with Mind Gutter Comics selling and showing some of his work and also autographing. Great to see. Also in the artist alley was celebrity comic writer and artist Tim Seeley, showing off his works with Local Man. I picked up this copy last year at Bela Con, and it was great to see that he's already at issue 11 and going strong, with also a trade paperback of the title Local Man available now. And it was great to talk with him. He's always smiling, always generous to his fans, signing books that collectors have brought in, and it was just great to just talk with him about his work. He also had earlier works that he did with Hack and Slash, and this was a great series with a modern thriller and horror, but we also sat down to talk a little bit about Revival. And Revival was one of his earliest works with artist Jenny Frison, and a lot of great covers for the series. And there was options, and now it's going to come into fruition, this TV series on the Sci-Fi channel. So pretty soon in 2025, we're going to see Revival with that interesting rural America, zombies, action, and need I say more. So be sure to check out Revival before you see the show. And it was great just talking with Tim and seeing the works that he has given us so far. Local Man, Hack Slash, even working for Shazam, some writing for DC, and Revival for Image Comics is a lot of fun. And next to Tim was his wife, Paola Seeley, who's an artist in her own right, and wonderfully so. I purchased a sticker right here. You can see some of the elements of color and theme, and some of the Spanish Honduran influence that she brings to her art. So the postcard also features some Dracula-esque creations there, and a dark and beautiful artwork that shows passion and a lot of bold colors. So it was really neat to see Tim and his wife Paula, both artists, creating together and just offering and showing some of their work. I also had the opportunity to talk with artist Matthew Hansel, a pop culture cartoonist best known for working with Underdog and Pal, as well as the Puppet Horror Theater book, and he is a part of Guerrilla Publishing, offering a lot of nice, quirky, fun, and whimsical characters. As we spoke a little bit more, he also had a book of his own artwork featuring Beetle Bailey, one of the comic strips that I enjoyed, as well as Hagar the Horrible, and he is currently in line to work on the comic strip that I've always enjoyed in the funny paper right here. You'll see Hagar the Horrible is always fun with Hagar, Lucky Eddie, his sidekick, and always returning from a Viking raid to his wife, where he gets into even more trouble. So Matthew Hansel is going to be working on Hagar the Horrible, and I'm thrilled as I really enjoy this comic, very down-to-earth artist, and we even talked about some historical art, including Sheldon Moldoff, which was one of his inspiration, and he created a wonderful Batman and Robin art rendition that I saw before my eyes, very much to the likeness of the 1950s, early golden age Batman. So if you're out and about, look up the name, Matthew Hansel. Find a lot of great artwork. All right, folks, let's get into some comics, and there were no shortage of comics to be had at Bela Con, whether you're looking to add some modern keys to your Batman collection or just catch up on some really great covers like this. There's plenty of heroes at the con, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, you name them, or if you're simply like I used to collect and still collect Roger Rabbit, pop culture, and the Ninja Turtles, they had it all. Bela Con was really the place to be, and a lot of variety. The first vendor that I ran to, named Cheese and Keys, offered a variety of Silver Age and Bronze Age books stacked in the short boxes, as well as some Marvel treasuries and oversized books, and a lot more, including Fangoria and Monster Magazine. And here we have three right off the bat from 1964 with Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds. I always love their suspenseful sci-fi covers and wonder that they offer here. And some of the creatures and monsters that we see in those early Charlton books. Art by Bill Molno typically is found, Sal Trapani, Vince Alacia, and occasionally Steve Ditko in this series right here. So I was happy to pick up three right there, and including an ACG comic that's one of four from an anthology series from 1967, and this happens to be the third issue of the series, featuring a nice gray cover, Civil War characters and theme, and of course a ghost, because a ghost causes one to gasp. And just love the title. I can do this all day. So it's great to see this thrown in there. Low-grade books, just a few bucks. And all of these were a few bucks. And was happy to speak with the vendor. He was more than generous with his time, talking about other books that he had in his collection. This is issue number 1 of U.S. Air Force from October of 1958. So some great artwork. You can see the scenery, the plane up high, and looks to be an Allied bomber with the marks of the victories that he had, and also an ambush on an airplane hangar. Issue number 1 has some tape in there holding the book together, but nonetheless, it's a complete number 1. Always a sucker for UFO books. I've done a video with UFO, and recently YouTuber Ranger Sly was mentioning that he has been collecting some UFO books, and I was looking and I saw these two right here from Whitman, and Gold Key and Whitman kind of had a hand in these beautiful painted covers. But look at the resemblance of both of these. They both look identical, with the boy and his dog and the alien astronaut being, but the UFO is different. There's a UFO here, but like a starlight blast there, and the title is different. UFO flying saucers versus UFO in outer space. So we really need to see two similar kind of swipes going on right there. And another UFO beauty right here with a red discus flying saucer kind of coming up on these two fishermen, it looks like. They're just minding their own business, and then you have that. I love the title, the coloration right there. Really fun, more UFO. And you can't go without saying Buck Rogers, kind of coming around the same time as Flash Gordon. Buck Rogers has its origins in Pulp Fiction, with this beautiful painted cover and little miniature aliens right there, little men in green, and that light and shining and explosion there really creates a fun cover with Buck Rogers. Also in the bins, thumping through, I was able to find 3 books from Beyond the Unknown. I've been trying to pick up this anthology series with different stories, usually by Murphy Anderson, writing them about sci-fi. And there's a title right there. This happens to be issue number 25. They're voting and auctioning the planet Earth. How about that? And also, this is a Kaluta cover. I always like Mike Kaluta's artwork, and he did a lot for Time Warp and some of the covers there, and in general in the 80s. This great Kaluta cover there, that happens to be issue number 19, and then issue number 11 right here. And I believe this is a reprint of a previous cover, maybe from Mystery in Space. But again, 3 for a few bucks. Couldn't go wrong with those guys right there. And then adding to another giant special with Ghost, adding a little bit of Bronze Age horror from July of 1975. We have this book right here. So it's great. It might be a Nick Cardy cover. I have to delve into it a little bit more as I just picked these up. And then a couple more 100 pagers with Action Comics. And it's fun to see that the book is a part of the cover, turning the page there or popping out of the pages there. So it's great to see this reprint anthology, 100 pages of Superman in these books. Low-grade reading copies, about $5 a piece, and just happy to see these at the con and grab them. Wonder Woman making an appearance with her fearsome bracelet, dodging and repelling any projectile or bullet that comes her way, and some of the more modern Bronze Age Wonder Woman issue 245 right there, as well as some Avenger books. They were in the mix too. This great cover art right there with Wanda, Ultron in the background. Yellow Jacket, what happened to him? A nice key issue. So Cheese and Keys doesn't play around. These are all good key books, including one for Fantastic Four, showing off some of the Marvel multiverse, the Skrulls, and the battle that ensues that always the Fantastic Four have to arise, and this happens to be issue 183. There was a Golden Age book in the pile, and this happens to be Yea Comics, an animal funny book, and it happens to be from December, January 1949 into 1950. And Bela Con, you never know what you're going to get, including these fun gag-like covers. Nice 10-center ACG, Yea Comics, issue number 69. Also, Tower Comics from the Silver Age with Tippy Team. These books tend to go for a lot of money due to the lower print runs and scarceness, but this is from June of 1967. It's winter cover and a nice googly romantic cover as she's on ice skates and he's not going to let her go. Tippy Team. And a little bit more love. How about some love for Charlton's Time for Love? And look at the artwork going on here. A lot going on. Some beach and bikini scene, some outdoor walking, and smooching with a tear coming down. I showed this to my wife, and she says, "Why is she sad?" And it looks like their romance is going to be short-lived and a lot of drama. So this one definitely will give to my wife to read and give me the critique. Check out the Instagram for Cheese and Keys. He also has auctions and live auctions as well, and treasure chest of comic book. The next vendor that I had an opportunity to revisit as I met him last year, one might simply say that he's Slabulous. And Slabulous offers a number of foil covers, hard to find variants, as well as slab comics in pristine condition. And he's also ahead of the trend. Always the next comic that you think you would know or see, he already has it. And it's just a delight going to his booth and also visiting his page, as he's on Whatnot and Instagram and his website. I was just catching up on my foil covers here with Batman, eagerly awaiting his next mission right there. I love the Batman light on the top there and this nice sheen finish. And Wolverine, who's going to be popular this summer as he's teaming up with Deadpool. So that's why I picked this one up too. And I was also introduced to an interesting comic, and it's for mature audiences, Penthouse Comics. And what's interesting to note that the cover was created by artificial intelligence, and it was originally going to be scrapped, but the publishers kept it and wrote an article in the back about it. The artwork is very detailed and very advanced. You could see the shading and the lights here and some of the detail that is tremendous. Some of the artwork and cut scenes are very, very advanced and well, but it's a mature book and one that should be approached with caution. But nonetheless, the artwork is stunning. So be sure to check out Slabulous or Joey Israel with Slab, Grab, Blab, and Brag that you have the best comics in your collection. Really nice to talk to, very generous, even looked after my bag so I can walk around the con, and just always has things from the future, comics and merchandise from the future, as time travel comics is what we're talking about. And the last couple of books that I picked up for the collection were from Minds in the Gutter, kind of a funny name for a vendor, and they had some serious books, including some Blue Beetle with Steve Ditko, colorful artwork right here, just a very nice distinctive style of Steve Ditko, and didn't really have too many Blue Beetles, so now I have one in the collection right there from Charlton, as well as the Avengers issue number 14. And this here has one of the books that I've been really looking after, but it's been very expensive. And for $10, I was able to get it because it's missing this cutaway right here, the little drawing and marquee that shows the book with the Avengers on it. But still, the book is complete. I'm going to try to repair it either from a donor page or simply making a color copy and putting it behind it. So adding this to the collection, as we have here, even an Avenger can die, an epic length Marvel masterwork. And one of the best finds of the con happened to be a trade paperback and one of the first compilations for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original series, created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And this happened to be printed from 1987 and 1988. And we have the Fearsome Four Ninja Turtles. And it's in full color inside the book. Nice glossy pages, a little bit bigger than the original. They were created by the creators, and it also includes the origin story and some great action shots of the turtles fighting. They have more of a grim, darker, Frank Miller-like appeal rather than the cartoony ones that we see on television and the Saturday morning cartoons. But TMNT as always resonates with me as I grew up in the 80s, and I know the history very well as the Ninja Turtles take on the Shredder and eventually find themselves fighting in the universe. And there he is, the Shredder himself, and the details right there. So adding this to the collection, an unexpected find, is you never know what you're going to find at Bela Con. And in closing, Bela Con asked to make the Thing smoke cigars again. After a while, the artist no longer drew the cigar in hand, probably not to influence minors, but as a fun gag, this was handed out to anybody that purchased anything from Bela. And I must say, it was a fun con, a lot of great vendors, very nice community feel in the basement of the church, and a unique experience. It's a lot different from those larger auditoriums and centers where you have to go downtown and pay a lot of money to get in. The admission was free, and the fun and joy of searching was priceless. And Bela said he wanted to do these Comic Cons right, with the people, with fun, simple, accessible to families, and plenty of comics to be picked up. So Bela Con was great. Can't wait for the future.